welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Blessing Ehi Joseph. Welcome back to our channel, guys. Wow, it's been a while. It's really been a while, guys. I know, my bad. And anyways, welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. If you're just seeing this face for the very first time, please do want to like, share and subscribe. And to my returning subscriber, please help me share. And also thank you for always stopping by. Thank you for all the love and for all the support. So guys, in today's video, I'll be talking about this one chance of a thing that's been going on in Abuja. You know, I've once been a victim of it, and it's really a bad experience. I'm not just saying this to put fear in anybody, but you know, I've been seeing stories and news, you know, going around and on that's been happening, and it's really alarming. So I just want to share my own side of the story of what I faced, what I experienced, what my own experience was like, so that we can all be careful out there. So let's get right into it. So guys, I got a job in Gwarimpa. You know, those of you that know Abuja very well, I got a job in Gwarimpa, and they just asked me to resume that place. And I just left my former place of work. They just paid me my salary. That was on a Sunday. I got my alert. On a Monday, they asked me to resume my new place of work. So after the close of work that day, I got to Setrako. If you know Abuja, like if you know that Gwarimpa, you know Setrako. So I got to Setrako gate, and I stood there. I saw lots of people standing, like those people that just go back from work. They were standing there too. So I just stood there, and I saw this, and it was around past 7. So I stood there and I saw this Corolla. I stopped the car, and then I said, because I was going to Nyanya then, so I told them Nyanya. And the worst part of it was, these people in the car are men. I'm very sure they are people's father, people's dad, husbands. You know, they were like, you know, 4 in the car. The driver, there's another man seated at the front. Then there is a lady at the left side of the car, like the other door area. Then there is a young guy seated at the middle. Then I was the last person, the third person at the back seat. When the car started moving, the driver kept saying, "Auntie, hope say you get change, you know." And I was like, "Yes, I have change." So I heard when the door made this lock sound, but I didn't know, I had no idea the door was locked. It was already pinned. The driver kept saying, "Auntie, hope you have change." I said, "Yes, I have change." So I was on my phone. Guys, I'll say this thing. If you're ever in a car, once bitten, twice shy. That's just for me. But I'll just say this. If you are in a car, pay attention to where you are going to. Keep your phones aside. Pay attention. Because I was not paying attention. I was just on my phone. And the next thing, the guy close to me was like, "Auntie, better cooperate to God." I felt like my spirit was about to leave me. I was so scared. I was so very scared. And then the driver was not like, they now carried my head like the guy close to me carried my head and put on his legs. So I was actually not seeing where they were taking me to. The next thing, the driver at the front asked the man close to him to collect my bag. So they collected my bag, and do you know the lady in the car was also part of them? She used her hair. So the lady used her hair to cover her face. So I was actually not seeing because it was already late and it was in the night. I didn't really. Do you know she was with a POS? The lady was actually with a POS. She was the one doing all the transactions. You know, I do hear stories of all these one chance people, you know, kidnappers, but the day it happened to me, that day I believed. I have never experienced it all my life. I was so scared. The next thing that could only come to my mind was, I know I was praying. In my mind, I was praying. Because where I worship, they're always like, there shall be no loss. There shall be no loss. That was the only word I knew I found myself confessing. So the driver asked the other man to collect my bag, and then the next thing, the driver started interrogating me. He was like, they sent them to go and kill some people, that how come I feel victim? I said, I don't know. Meanwhile, the other guy sitting close to me was just using his hands to rub my butt. He was just rubbing me. At that point, that one did not concern me. All I wanted was for them to just drop me peacefully without any scratch. I didn't even pay attention to what he was even doing because I was so scared to even notice anything. But I knew he was rubbing my bum. So the driver was not like, they sent them to kill some people. How come I felt victim? I said, I don't know. I just closed from work and I was going home. Then he said, then the guy at the front took my ATM and gave it to the lady. She was the one who processed all the transaction. They asked me of my PIN, asked me of my account number, and then they cleared my account. They zeroed it. I was still praying, I was still confessing that there shall be no loss in my life. I will not die. That was the only thing I was saying. You know, at that point, anything could have happened. They could have thrown me out of the car when it was moving. Or only God knows if they would have killed me and threw my body somewhere. That's what the driver said. If I don't give them my PIN, they'll kill me and throw on the road. They'll carry me to Zuma Rock. And have I heard of Zuma Rock? Like, they were putting so many fear in me. I don't know if they're just trying to put fear in me or they were serious about it. But I just told them, they can have all the money, but they should just drop me in peace. And then they did all the transaction, cleared my account. The driver was not like, am I married? I said no. They said, do you have a child? And I reasoned it. I said, if I tell these people that I don't have a child, they should not come and rape me or one thing. So I had to tell them I have a child. They say, is it a boy? I be a gay. I say it's a boy. They say, so you're one of those people that are sleeping around, that this and that, you got pregnant for a stupid boy. That one did not concern me. Like, he was just still talking. So the next thing he said, the car was still moving. I did not know where they were taking me to. I just knew I was scared and I was praying. That's the only thing I could do at that moment. And then they carried me to where I don't know. Then the driver asked me, where am I staying? I told them, and then they were not like, do you know these people left 300 naira for me in my bag? So they collected all my phones. The small change I have, they collected it, they swept my account, dried. Then they took me to one place, I don't even know that area. It was all bushy and I don't know. I just know it was God that saved me that day. I knew it was God that delivered me from the hands of those people because I don't know what would have happened. I don't know which story I would have been telling by now. That is if I would even be alive to tell the story. Like, God. So they carried me and they dropped me there. They now said they would drop me here, that I should just be running. I should not look back. So Thanks be to God, they dropped me. They dropped me and they zoomed off. The only thing they left in my handbag was 300 naira because I told them where I was staying. I said, this can only be God. For them to even still leave me money that would take me home. I said, this is God. So when I got down from the car, I was just crying. I could not hold back the tears from my eyes. I was just, God. So I managed to find my way to the express and I asked people. I can't even remember the name of the place they dropped me. But I managed to get myself home finally. Even before I go home, when I was in the car again going home, I was super scared. I was shaking. I was crying. The drivers and people in the car were asking me, what happened? I could not say PIM. It just like I was dumb, like English. I was speechless. Guys, when I go home, not a word to anybody. I was just crying. So my elder sister was now like, what happened? She was asking me what happened. My dear, I could not say a word. Rather, the tears doubled. Hot tears. So she too, she was scared. So she had to run and tell my dad that I'm crying. So my dad called me and I explained everything to him. And he was like, hope they didn't touch me, hope I'm okay. Like, they didn't touch me, but I am not okay. My mental health was destabilized. Like, at that point I am not myself. Like, I needed therapy. So that was what happened. My mom came back and we were like, I should just thank God that it is only my money they collected. They didn't hurt me, they didn't rape me, they didn't do something awful to me. I should be happy and I should be appreciative that it is just God that delivered me from those people. What if they had other motive? Like, what if I was kidnapped and they were asking for ransom, I was killed, or like one thing. But God did not allow it. And I'm super thankful to God for his preservation on that day. So ever since then, if I'm entering a car, you cannot be too careful. Do you get? But this stigma is already there that I feel so scared whenever I'm going to work, I'm entering a car. Like, if I'm entering a car and the car has this lock, like control from the driver, I don't enter that car. I don't mind going to work late, but let me be alive to get to work. I don't mind going to work late because I hold their life when they go work. I don't usually enter cars that has lock. And if I'm going somewhere and then if I'm not privileged or if I cannot sit at the windows area, like window, I know they enter. I don't sit at the middle of any car. I don't. Like, guys, it's not easy. We just have to be very careful out there. Like, this whole news of people being kidnapped, one chance in Abuja is getting out of hand. It's really getting out of hand, and we all need to be very careful. Guys, if you're entering a car, watch, be vigilant, be at alert. Don't just enter a car begede and then you leave yourself just like that, and then you are pinging and pressing your phone without knowing whatever is happening in your environment, like things that are happening. I don't try that again. Once bitten, twice shy. So guys, we just have to be very careful and also prayerful, and I know that God will see us through. And let's just try and take care of ourselves out there. So guys, I've come to the end of this video. Please do well to like, share and subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up, and also please guys subscribe. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, bye.